Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, living, and amazing, spectacular, wondrous Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only master propaganda hero, psych defender of the fatherland, off here to a wondrous 1v1 own. Faymonville Approach in the north is Use-m246, fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland, taking on the role here of the Sperrverbande of Wolf here with Osttruppen, squads, trenching tools, artillery field officers, supply drops, and railway artillery support with double infantry panzerfaust. West and south, it is Baoliang, fighting for the Red Army, the Soviet Union, Comrade Stalin, taking on the role here of the glorious 2nd Guards Mechanized Corps with counter-attack, Guard Motor, and NKVD with triple infantry bulletins there. We got double constant here for Baoliang, and we got an Osttruppen and there for Use-m246. Big thanks to Schultz for donating and supporting the Propagandacast with this hard-earned money, particularly in these, shall we say, financially challenging times for many people. It is certainly even more appreciated, so big thanks to you. And of course, a big hearty thanks to my paid supporters who keep me support as well there. These champions, these heroes. You too can join these glorious ranks by pledging on Patreon server. You guys just donate. Links are in the description. Always comment, like, share, and subscribe. Press the bell button. With those messages out of the way, triple constant down there for Baoliang. Heading hard centre with the infantry, could consider laying down some sandbags, so a bit noteworthy he isn't. South as Union is moving up north, it's Use-m246 advancing, he's actually laying down sandbags and barbed wire. Ooh la la. M242 setting up here to cover the fuel point. There's the Osttruppen advance forward, setting up the covering the field of attack there. 2 thumbs up to Use-m246, tactically very sound, and certainly catches Baoliang's engineers there in a pretty uncomfortable position. At the same time, Baoliang can't easily deal with it, so we're going to see that there's an opportunity open here, but the M242 moves slightly ahead. Osttruppen charging in here. Baoliang's going to have to flank the M242 here, or he's going to have to switch northward. So there's a several decisions here that can be made for Baoliang as users hitting for both fuel points now, and to some degree seems to be having some degree of success here. But that said, Baoliang is not made easy. Again, he's going for the car point. He's trying to force user to have to move away from the car point, or the resource point, to head back to the car point. That would then opening up for pushing the fuel point there. So tactically, I think Baoliang is making the right response here. Sometimes, if you can't deal with your opponent head on, the best point is to find early on at least the weak point and force them to have to withdraw from the other's more valuable points. So again, tactically very sound maneuver here, Baoliang and the Red Army. It's Osttruppen forced with their counter-attack. Points they've been grabbed by the conscripts. So again, he's just basically constraining and constricting Use-m246. And so even if Use-m246 is defending on all the valuable fuel points, if he can't do anything with them, well then it doesn't matter as much. So good play there by Baoliang, good play, 2 thumbs up. Good tactical play is what we like here on the Propagandacast. That and Stooks and half-tracks. And as Osttruppen starting at the counter, being charged with the counter, 2 squads from in there, very good here. Again, you can see he's slowly starting to split up. They use him for 6, and then once he split them up, he then assails these isolated elements that way, overwhelming them. Again, tactically very solid, and it's typically how I find you want to play the Soviets in the early game. You don't just look to win every engagement, you look for the engagement you can win initially by basically avoiding the main force, force them to divert the troops out to deal with the smaller annoyances, and then once it's split up, then you hit the isolated elements and that would deal with them. So Baoliang here playing, I think, a very solid early game. Use-m246 filling up with the Panzergrenadiers is teched up. Of course, this Panzergrenadiers are much better counter the conscript than scattered Osttruppen. So, I mean, obviously here, Use responding as well as he can to this, though he will need light vehicles to further disrupt this. And we also see he's laying down S-mines on his opponent's car points. That way, again, counter-harass his opponent by using S-mines, which is tougher to deal with. In particular, since Baoliang isn't expecting this with an early flamethrower pick. So, again, a lot of mind games here, a lot of expectations what the other players do. You can sort of see this going on between these two allies. These two very good players, not otherwise very good players. That's implication. In this case, they're not doing a good job, which in reality, they are. Made some great maneuver play, which you typically get to see. Certainly not with Osttruppen and conscripts involved, but anyways, good play there. Really disruptive play there. Neither side is at this point really controlling a lot there because the other just keeps sneaking about there. So certainly a good display though of how these two players are so far handling. Got Samek on the fuel point on the south there. We got Otpan using the car point there. We got the conscript kind. This one is actually got another engineer squad with minesweepers just to clear this out faster than they normally would, probably, since eventually you will need more engineers. But there you go, Panzergrenadier around the conscripts. John Gerfield Fields laying down a torrent of lead, of hard fire. But medics on the way there, no like to make a nice comedy yet here for Use-m246. Again, light vehicles could also be great vehicles, so constraining Baoliang's highly mobile infantry play. either armored cars or the 250.5 tank, particularly combined with the Panzer Grenadiers, could give him a mobile strike force that could shut down a lot of Baoliang's maneuvers. But there you go, like making us come in the base, medics ready. Machine gun being pushed back here as Baoliang advances the front line here for the glory of Cornwall stalling. And Use here holding up the line as well as best as he can. Re-establishing a fresh line of defense, sort of. Sandbags here, Baoliang digging in, very good. Now we get the sandbags, we get mines as well, 2 thumbs up. No sign of doctrine for Baoliang. Certainly has a few options. NKVD would be the fun option, Guard Motor would be the steady option, and Counter-attack would be the sort of in-between steady and kind of fun with stuff like the B4. But at the same time, often K1, shock troopers from Mother Russia, all very solid stuff. Armored Convoy for Use-m246, going to be using that to, again, try and contain and constrain Baoliang's infantry maneuvers. Very good. Sandbags for less than fuel point. Thumbs up there. Puns was there around it. It's only been a very, I would say, fluid match in the first 6 minutes of the game. The map's really changed hands a lot there already. Beautiful stuff. And before the game flanked by the conscripts here, Armor Car, the Zamunda, the Leica Punch Speedwagen, Swine striking at the front of it, sending them running away in terror as the armored car unleashes a torrent of death. Back in the south, also working with us on the field, but there you go, Baoliang moving in here. The 2 conscript squads flanking the Osttruppen there, very good. Thumbs up there, north, got the conscript engaged with the 2-2. Do the anti-tank grenades here, no, we don't get them on the way. Also got the support company up to get anything out of that. Max could be a good choice. Mortars, well, obviously there's always the field gun, which we're obviously going to see at some point. The question is just merely how fast does he go for the field guns, more than anything. Conscious there, there's the Panzer Grenadier. They can get to heavy cannon a bit closer. The Panzer Grenadiers have this match 1. There you go, Bun Grenade. Oh, no. There you go. Lost 1 man there going in as well. Very good there. At this point, the Panzer would have the advantage, except unless the other transport arrives to assist. But still, wins there for now. Arm cutting southwards. Northern fuel holding ceased to be Use-m246. Could go for the officer. Probably won't. Most players don't bother with them, unfortunately. Can't quickly tank coming out for Baoliang and the Red Army. Like a T-70, but he could try and rush up the half-track for a anti-aircraft half-track, for example. That could be something a bit faster than Use-m246 expects and could leave in a bit of an awkward spot. But T-70 is just very, very good. And so, you know, in 90% of the cases, the obvious pick there to expect as well. Use, of course, still wants to go for a Pack 40 soon. We could consider another Panzer Grenadier squad now. That wouldn't be, I think, bad at all. Here versus Baoliang would not be bad at all. Oh, hello. Baoliang is in fact going for the M5 half-track, meaning we may be seeing an anti-aircraft half-track rush. Meanwhile, Use is going for another Panzer Grenadier squad. Well, this is definitely getting more interesting. Also highlight to Use is aware of the limitations of the Osttruppen doctrine, which again is, as the game goes on, the Osttruppen in terms of, you know, combat utility tend to drop off significantly when it comes to supporting attacks, and you do need more Panzer Grenadiers to really carry the match later on there, so good play there by Use-m246. Again, displays, I think, a keen understanding of the Osttruppen doctrine, its strengths, its limitations, and what you need to like transition to as the game progresses. So, very good there by Use-m246. As we've seen many times now in the typical ways an Osttruppen player loses is because they rely too hard on the Osttruppen, unless the Refro, and kill all their opponent's stuff with the Panzerwerfer inside the base. Anti-aircraft half-track almost done. Did suffer Panzerwerfer damage, and then it's going to do some heavy damage here to the Osttruppen if they don't retreat in time. There we go, tank through them already. Capable of laying down some incredible damage there with its 450 caliber machine guns. Should not be taken lightly. Got the counter of that Panzer Grenadiers here, Graham Northern Point. Panzer Grenadier squad there moving in. Going back to Calf Point. Map control is roughly 50-50, but with the Use having a slightly 2-point lead over Baoliang. No Pack 40 yet, but as you might notice here, Baoliang is moving as though it has it. In this case, Use actively using the doctrine, the supply drop specifically, to pull out the Pack 40. Been seeing a lot of players recently who don't bother with that one, but it's again very good upgrade over the Osttruppen. You just get the fuel, munitions on top of that, plus a Pack 40 MB34, all for 400 man per like. It's an incredibly good deal. I'm still surprised that so many mountain players just don't bother with it. In particular, you can just recruit with the Osttruppen, you know, it's perfectly fine. But Helmut, it's not good for the environment to have your things delivered by air. Mein Gott, Jürgen. The things we're doing in the war, I'm fairly certain none of them are good for the environment, except maybe killing people. After came to the 2-2 there, punch the half health, push back. Assist 3 visual field gun there for Baoliang and the Red Army. MG42 setting, MG34 actually setting out there for Use-m246, the predecessor to the MG42. Largely same concept, except more mechanically complicated and a lower rate of fire. Which made it better suit. Also, it had a different way of changing the barrel, which made it more suited for tank machine gun. But as you know,
enemy forces are securing our
overall, in some ways, it's also more expensive to make. Like that's also the thing. But still, they're actually more made of them than the MG42, mostly because it had a head start over the MG42. I guess it's also more accurate to aim for less trained troops because low rate of fire. So, another fun fact. Then he's got assist for you should figure on for Baoliang. After there with 2 kills. No doctrinal choice dead here for Baoliang. 470 versus 400. Use-m246 continue to have a nice lead there. No further tech, but certainly I would say a strong force composition here. He's in. Oh yeah, he's MG42 and the 42 there. MG34 and 42, so good amount of machine guns, infantry, including assault infantry. You can start, I think, easy go taking up Frama now here versus Baoliang. Baoliang, of course, has the half which gives him cut the backbone there as well in terms of firepower. That's often exposed to anti-tank guns and armor. But at the same time, you can do some heavy damage very fast with, say, flanks and support weapons. You can clear them out rapidly. Like the half-track has some insane DPS versus lighter vehicle infantry and lighter vehicles to a degree. So here we go, using with the MG42 from the centre, almost clearing it out here, very good. Osttruppen trying to rush in, but again, that cover, they can't really hit the broadside of the barn from the inside, so they can't really assist. North the arm covering the conscript, MG34 in the building there. After rushing forwards here. Building joining in. Around the southern point, sandbagging into all the very good for Baoliang. Engineers in the centre here. Need some more support here. Baoliang could also start slowly considering taking up. We got Use-m246 in fact already taking up. Very good. Well, obviously he's planning for tier 4. Well, I probably would never ice that. I never do, obviously, but he could do it. He could do it. Baoliang, by the way, still without a doctrine at this point. That means either guard motor counter-attack, and then typically you've gone for it, but now he's pulling out the shock troops and guardsmen, so that does stand out a bit here for Baoliang. I mean, I guess it could be NKVD just for the hell of it. Even then, the opposite could, or the NKVD combos are there. Could, help him out there. Could help him out. Comes to the punch going to be here. Comes to the close being right up, but the punch are going to do that. Also using this on the field point, but really lots of back and forth action here. Like, neither player getting bogged down like just one point at a time. It's less tug of war and more like just, a beautiful dance of war. They're setting up here. Armor can't be mindful, of course. Runs from northern field point. Southern field point is still being seized. Baoliang here seems a bit hesitant at the moment, but he is building a mechanized armor company. And we'll be able to get some armor perhaps faster than his opponent. Depends on what Use-m246 goes for, I think. Like if you rush out Stugen Ostwind, it would be faster than the T-34 from 6. On the other hand, Panzer IV and Baoliang, I think, should be able to actually get it out. Then again, both fuel point control now shouldn't have use, and that may actually not be the case anyways. Still, nothing out of Baoliang in terms of doctrine. North Point sees the Pioneers. Comes from there. Getting the Sandman upgrade there. Half thing in there. Bundling there. Comes in pretty bad state. Need to fall back quickly. Nothing to do with him. Find where there's 4 50 cal machine guns there, mounted on the rear. Far up north, he comes from north, caught the MG34. S-mounts on the northern victory point, really good use there. By use by mines, we've just been disrupting Baoliang's maneuvers at times. Field gun bombarding. Still some time away from army, definitely needs a fuel point soon, and use. Still hasn't built as a bomber core. Is he planning tier 4 here? Because he's definitely missing out on opportunities like this, push fast tanks here versus Baoliang. There's the Wehrmacht, one of your basically like big moves you can do is try and brush out some sort of thing from the Supremo Corps a bit ahead of your opponent if you like, you got a decent advantage. And currently Use is not doing that. So that's definitely beneficial for Baoliang the longer this goes on. There we go. Fun building the support core there. But even then, it does mean the Baoliang has a tiny chance now. Maybe pushing out some faster armor here. Maybe. But again, at this point, he may also just want to consider going out for counter-attack and gut mode to then go for the KB1 or the T-3045. Okay, there we go. Counter-attack, calling in shock troopers. That means the K1 heavy tank force is on the table. And of course means the B4 is an option. Baoliang, I believe, is one of those players who does really like the B4 howitzer. And staying on the map like Faymonville Approach, which is a bit more compact for shorter distances, B4 could certainly prove to be an absolute headache here for Use-m246. Take a hold for this hard line to support them. So might lose the half tech here though to the Pack 40. Nope. Pack falls back here. Very fortunate for Baoliang that used his knock, tried to sneak in another shot here. Half tech by very close to the ace level. Still, Use exerting great map control here. He's going for the Panther 4 hit of Baoliang. Again, we'll have to see the Ghost for, but a K1 at this point would be the superior choice to the Panther 4. Model J, not Model J. Anyways, we got Tier 4 next here for Use-m246. I'm a big fan of that. Just go for one medium and then push for Tier 4 strat, personally. I've been a big fan, but again, at least he has 2 Panther. Going to escort, he does have a pack and at least a Panther 4. But still, not a super duper big fan. Control Out West was there. There you go, Panzer Campaign for the out there, and the pin on Indy for the 2. Standard stuff, but again, very good standard stuff for the Panther 4. Like, I feel like some players underestimate just the utility of pinmap machine guns to your armor. Like, they do add some nice damage. Bun grenade here. In this case, Use hope there to bait the Crunchy into retreating into the bun grenade. Maybe you can get a wipe, but Baoliang either wasn't paying attention or kept stood his ground. Because some players just instinctively like just retreat when you see a grenade tossed at them. T-34's from 6, so he's not going to go for the K1 here. Obviously, he probably just wants the T-34 at faster. Preparation is running now. Rather than go for the K1. That said, of course, this is also where the half-tick sort of comes in benefit here for Baoliang, because if he'd gone for the T-70, he wouldn't be able to get for any armor anytime soon. But he's still, of course, doing quite a bit of damage to the infantry and whatnot. So obviously, the half-tick goes much more easily down. It takes a shot from the enemy armor anti-tank guns. So there's obviously trade-offs, but in the larger scope of things, again, it has ensured at this point he can actually go for T-34s from 6, whereas if he'd gone for the T-70, chances are niet. So there you go, T-34 moving out there for Baoliang and the Red Army. Got this bomb grenade and the field gun. Crew explodes. Only Beauty survives, and even then, not for long. T-34 rushing forward, back up the concentrate in the centre here. Could actually pop for Mother Rash here. That I think adds some serious punch here versus Use-m246. Takes his machine gun here. He probably won't go for it, but I think he'll get away with it. At this point, the next is to off not going for it. The assault's already running out of steam at a much faster pace. T-34 almost taking out. Panther might be able to take pursuing, in which case you need to get the field gun up there. The field gun though is still abandoned. Still, managed to make some progress in the south here, push back, Use-m246 and the Sperrverband Wolf. Osttruppen and North with light machine gun. And of course, there's a small possibility he just went for that just for the machine gun to the Osttruppen. That would be the ideal solution, even though like the light machine guns do not add a lot to the Osttruppen. But it's something. Field recruit, half turning up, engaging the Panzergrenadier. The Blessed of Late there, unleashed in the Panzergrenadier's general direction. Great hit here though from the Pack 40. North side here, we actually got the dug in positions here from Use. Trenches and the machine gun. Can be cleared out, I think, with a probably extra assault. In fact, I don't even think he's as mines. Like, he would probably just rush in, like, say, a tank or something like cleared out on his own. We'll just wait for the B4 again. I have a very strong suspicion he's going to go for the B4. Anyways, Panther 4 sitting out there for Use-m246. Getting the shock troopers. Boris blasted to bits. A shoemaker from somewhere out of Leningrad. He had hoped to rejoin back after the war and return to his job, but that obviously didn't happen. Heavy Panzer car up there for Use-m246. So not just going for the light machine guns. We shall see what he goes. Oh, he goes for the Panzerwerfer. Always with his Panzerwerfers. Let's see if we can get the Osttruppen. Shot misses. controlling northwards. South here controlling for the southern fuel point again. User's definitely getting some serious fuel against Baoliang, and Baoliang definitely needs to rectify that. That said, I'm still just wondering when he's going to go for the B4, because again, it just feels like it's something that's just inevitably going to happen. We got ace punchers here though, real threat here for the conscripts. Tears attacking into, there you go. We got Badeladnung, an old World War I tactic, used initially by stormtroopers and whatnot. Was also used both in World War I and early World War II as an anti-tank weapon. That's the blast that could blast through these, you know, initially lightly armored tanks. So, fun fact there. Ace having to deal with the Panther, they got the Panther moving in. 7 kills there. Field bombarding in the centre. People flanking the Pack 40, it could be a problem. And you see the whole machine gun is doing pretty much all. The main gun is obviously not fine because it's in front deep. But again, as you can see, the whole machine gun can do some serious damage. Pack 40 is a great hit though. Field gun pulled back in the face of the Panther for Barrage, which in the end didn't kill a single soul. Damage engine the Panther 4, leaving users Panzer IV in a bit of a sticky spot, but you've got both Pioneer squads ready on hand to fix that up. Controls the Osttruppen. Nothing there going in Baoliang space, might be setting up for the Key 1 heavy tank here. Controls pinned down by the India 34. Back here, southern victory point being defended by the Controls with their sandbags. Ooh, using infantry awareness to try and scope out there what Baoliang might be doing in the shadows. Heinz, what can you hear in your radio? I think the Russians have a severe case of flatulence. Ah, my God, I don't want to hear that. But do you think I do? This isn't funny, Helmut. They really get a bad case of flatulence over there. And his Panther getting the conscripts, Panther is sweeping in, routing the front of X under a torrent of death and German insults. And there go Baoliang goes the B4 howitzer. I believe designed for actually shattering fortifications and whatnot. Until in urban environments and just drive it up and just blast through any sort of like strong points that the Germans might have had, or the Hungarians or the Romanians or whatnot. Little fun fact there. Grabbing the southern fuel point back. And so on a map, like Faymonville Approach, again, there's much more dense, meaning there's less distance between it and its target. The B4 can be fairly efficient. And that said, Baoliang likes to go for the B4 on whatever map he's playing on. But on a map like Faymonville Approach, it is certainly more, you know, accurate than usual. Shot fired, went a bit above there. Perhaps guts the eardrums of a few nearby squirrels, clutching their tiny ears as they bleed. Up north, they shot five, aiming for the foreground in the northern victory, attempting while clearing up mines. Pack following getting the T-54, but Sisgun returned the favor to the Panther 4. B4 there, still got some time for fires again. And Incendiary appeared from that, of course, threatening any infantry would definitely do not retreat. They south taking southwards, catching the Osttruppen there. Needs to be careful not to Panther fast, in which case it could open up for use rushing in and taking it out. He's just hiding the Osttruppen, hoping to, you know, A, deter from moving further ahead, and also just maybe hoping he forgets about them and just gets his Panther fast. Panther fighting southwards, deciding he probably doesn't want to wait for it. He just wants that half check kaput. And we go, come taking nice hit from the Panther 4, rushing in to finish them off instead. Panther following up, he thanks to combine over bonus, can always to keep pace with the Panther 4, and they also take less damage. Baoliang go for some recon overflight here. And we go for Mother Russia. Baoliang launching a glorious assault for the Red Army, the Soviet Union, the motherland. Hoorah! Charging ahead here, T-54 falling with field and backing up. B4 ready to fire and fires here. Shot fired, almost taking out the Panther 4. The Panther 4's finished off here, but this is 3 divisional field gun. A stinger blow to Use-m246 as he finds his spare Verbande denied of its crucial armored element now, being the T-54 much more potent. Bunker goes on the gears, blasting Dyatlov into bits. Osttruppen occupying the building here, the water mill, as the shock troops to grab the southern victory point. Panzer hiding out here. Baoliang's assault is perhaps needing a bit more oomph, and there you go, T filling up to supply that oomph in the north. Panther firing away here. In the south, I think. Yup, going for the shock troopers. But did they end up doing more damage to the Osttruppen did it to itself? Or to the shock troops? I don't know. Either way, pretty much did nothing. Awesome also want to hit with the shock troopers. Close one there. Almost got machine gun here. Building no longer safe for occupation. Machine gun crew force holler ass, and we got the Pack 4 nearby. No support here for the B4. Panther for Use-m246 calling in the might of the Panzerkampfwagen 5 as Baoliang brings down Corps headquarters for more armored support. Armored car, half health. B4 with 2 kills. Half turrets into 2. Panther almost done that for Use-m246, and the center get the half tech holding up here. Pack 40 shoots and misses. Desperately trying to salvage that T-34 from 6, very sensibly obviously. Panther almost done that for Use. And there you go, T-34 ready here for Baoliang and the Red Army. We got 430 versus 92. Baoliang needs to jump out those victory points soon. Shock things back in the south, and there you go. Panther ready for Use-m246 for Deutschland. 9 kills here on the anti-aircraft half track. B4 is right about ready to fire again. Even has the direct fire attack unlocked. Though most of the train is blocking a excellent attempt on that. Panther going for the T-34 back last off here. Good chance of losing the T-34 here unless someone managed to nail it with the B4, which seems unlikely. In fact, it seems like he's firing else with the B4 here. Panther got the main gun, T-34 knocked out, filling it up here. The half-tech points to the B4, shoots to the base, and wipes out the bunker and almost takes on Osttruppen squad there. Did he actually kill? Oh, he took out a Panzer gun to the squad, actually, at least minimum. Good God, that was brutal. A painful blow there to Use-m246. Medic bunkers must replaced, but the loss of the Panzer gun to the squad, and I think that was an ace one, is going to be much harder to replace for Use-m246 at this point in the match. So that was a fairly good shot here. This B4 getting actually 2 bar, which means he can fire faster. Meaning it's almost ready to fire again. Like, that's actually a significant bonus versus 2 hits. There's definitely a problem there for Use-m246. That B4 will now be raining down death very consistently upon him. He's going to have to take that out pretty soon. Panther diving in there. B4 shoots again. Didn't do much this time around. Got the T-34. Panther barracking down here. Most of the shots hit by, absorbed by the trees. Numerous squirrels dying in the chaos. B4 there again. Almost ready to fire again. Like just so much short of 305. Planning to do with the concentration of the Panther here. The gap from Mother Russia. Fueling his men towards greater feats for the motherland. But the Pioneers don't care about that. And there you go. 8 Panzer will there getting hold for the half-tech. Still, fielding crew is slightly going to get exterminated here by the Panzer gun. 40 kills. Contact squad wiped out. Baoliang bleeding out quite aggressively here. 92 is 412. Field gun being hauled off here by Use. Can soon fire the B4 again. We'll have to see where he fires. Oh dear, there's a lot of units retreating. Might try and find to the base again. He'll get a wipe. He's popping air reconnaissance. He's looking for a great target here versus Use-m246. Armored car flying away there. Another T-34 with B4 fires. Oh my God. And the Panzerwerfer takes a direct hit. Stalin's sledgehammer shatters it. Ooh, light machine gun drop. That's pretty great there for Baoliang. In fact, uses down almost next to infantry squad's left. So grab. You can run off with the Pack 40, and that's exactly here what Baoliang's going to do. He's going to run off with the Pack 40. Smash and grab. Socialist style. Comes there, merging with it just to make sure the Pack 40 can get away there. Almost loses the counter to a single straight mine from there. Goes shock troopers, actually finding some current fire there. Technically, they all now shock troopers, even the counter merging with projectile fire. But there we go. 8's half-tech going in, but still the Pack crew goes down, but he's close here to Baoliang's lines. Whew. B4 shoots again. This time, though, utter carnage only for the squirrels. As in, several squirrel families find themselves utterly evaporated from the very face of this earth. The tiny screams unheard by the nearby Germans. Troops around the south here. We got 16 kills in the ace half-attack here. We got a Panther for Use-m246. Panther is more or less good to go here. Use can't wait any longer. The Panther 4, or the Panther 5 technically, must advance. It must slay the Marxists. B4's on ready to fire again. Pack lands a good hit here. Nice hit from the T-foot from the rear of the Panther. Use needs to replace his infantry losses. This is definitely starting to get it untenable. And where will the B4 shoot next? Ace Panzer then caught by the half-tech. 47 kills. They've been really doing some absolutely top-notch work here for Use-m246. And they're going to highlight just how good they are. That said, Use is struggling with Mac controlling partly again due to lack of infantry. Bomb grenade goes off. Air recons again. Baoliang looking for the next target to blast into orbit. There we go. That almost seemed like blind for a bit of wasted shot, to be honest. There we got 50 and 43 and 92. Probably put it in 42 8 level. Shock to using the center. We got the attack 40 setting up here to engage. The Panther Force moves forwards. Direct hit here. Now they're machining the way there for Use-m246 and the German army in the north. Along Osttruppen almost got wiped out by a crashing Soviet aircraft. Only one man lived. Brutal. See, when the armored car did shit it down, it ended up biting Use in the ass. Yikes. Grenade from the Pack 40 on the armored car in the center field coming up there, so Baoliang has the Pack 40 and Use has the Sis gun. Bit of a trade-off there. B4 shoots. Only kills one of the gunners. That's fairly lucky. Panzer going for the Pack 40 to defend that fast. Got the half, they're doing exactly that. And the Panzers get met with a tornado of death. There you go, Panther blitzing forwards. Counter rushing backwards. Bit awkward here. Half taking hits from the Panther. Panther taking hits from the counter. T-34. Pack 40 can't start firing at it again. There we go. Got it. Could pop an anti-tank grenade here. No, done. Getting up the anti-tank grenade. Oh, no. Doesn't look like it almost there. That set needs to be careful. Could theoretically get like spotted and then dealt with by the B4. We got 301 versus 92. The match still hangs something in the balance. But there you go, B4 fires. Takes out the machine gun crew entirely. Up north there, MG40 there. MG42 ground the northern munitions point. Use struggling here to keep things going for more pioneers. Troops rushing north to 13 kills. Back here, repairs going on. B4 almost ready to fire again. It's almost ace level. Panther in dire need of repairs, and he's still in dire need of infantry as well.
The enemy is taking what we have secured.
Lag infantry definitely proving to be right now. I think one of the bigger issues for Use that and well B4 to be honest. And there go Baoliang looking for more targets. More victims for Stalin's sledgehammer to shatter. Shock troops there down to now 3 men need to retreat here. B4 I think is about to fire. Oh dear, he's constantly moving the Panther. Trying to avoid you getting smashed by the B4 until the aircraft is down. There you go. Oof, lucky one there for Use. Didn't even squash the Pioneers. That is actually ace level now. We got 257 versus 92. We got the Osttruppen and Counter-attack victory point here. Breaking on the Panther 4 by the Pack 4 in the south. We've got the Osttruppen occupying the building. We got 2 T-50 to evict them. Not great also for the Osttruppen, and Use very wisely pulls them back here. B4's ready to fire again. Panther there with 4 kills, eventually 2. North we got the armored covers the conscripts. B4 is about to fire again. Ah dear. And every Pioneer Squad but one is wiped out as the Panzer gets a fresh coat of paint. Bavarian red. Pioneers rally where the Panzer's going to be his Panther 4 there. Half health. That's a sting blow to use. Stinging Panther 4's there. Up armoured and ready to face off against the Socialists. Shots firing, punching through here. Good hit there, but barely gaining any experience from the damage he's dealing against the enemy armour. Pack recruit here. Need to be careful towards the rear though. Field gun bombarding the Pack 40. Guard him with the damage engine on the Panther's going to be a problem. Get the Panther 40 repairs. He needs more Pioneers now on top of the more infantry needs. T moving up, you're flanking the Panther to then too. And a B4 shot wipes it out, leaving use now just for the single Panther 4, and the Panther 4 is out as well. He has no armor left. Only a single gun. Infantry is next to none there as well, as Baoliang still has ample reserves against Use-m246. Andre in the B4, he wants it dead somehow. He doesn't know how to do it, and it seems more like an act of defiance more than an actual attempt to kill the bloody thing. Panzers there routed. There we go. Use-m246 surrenders. A loss here for the German army. Victory for the Red Army. A brutal battle here with some great maneuver play there in the end. I feel like Use just shouldn't have gone for tier 4. Should have just stuck to more Panther 4s. Maybe some Stugs or some Austrians, and that way he probably would have done better because he just had more firepower faster. Whereas again, the Panzer and the Panther just weren't able to master it. And a lot of the time it's going to come down to firepower for the Wehrmacht. And again, with the exception of the Sturm Panther 4, which is a bit more narrow firepower, you really don't get a lot of firepower at tier 4. I feel to, yeah, just gone for more Panzer 4s. I think it would have been better off. Maybe, you know, again, eventually follow up with the Sturm Panzer. So, there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. I learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. Tell friends, tell family. Don't challenge these. This is Simple LinkedIn. Cheers. Thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow again for another episode. Bye.